Hey everyone, John here, with a comment from Colin here, and they suggest we make a video about all the DS games that use Miis, and that left me thinking. There are DS games that use Miis. I'm aware of Tomodachi Collection. This is a big one in Japan, and there's Miis all over the box. But how many more are there? And this led me into a small but fascinating rabbit hole. So come on, viewers, jump in the hole with me. Let's find all the DS games that use Miis, including seeing a Mii Maker fully featured running on the DS. But before we do, let's hear from today's sponsor.
This video is sponsored by Unicorn Overlord. Unicorn Overlord is a retro-infused strategy RPG that'll have you forge alliances, liberate kingdoms, and explore a stunning, expansive world. It's a classic heroic fantasy tale that pays homage to the 16 and 32-bit eras with modern 2D aesthetics and 40 to 50 hours of gameplay. If you try out the free demo, you can carry your progress over to the full release, too. Unicorn Overlord is available on Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and it's available digitally on PS4. Go ahead and download the free demo on your console of choice today, and if you like what you see, pre-order the game before it releases on March 8th. Thanks again to Unicorn Overlord for sponsoring this video, and let's jump right back into it.
The Nintendo DS is a little beauty baby that launched in 2004, 2 years before the Wii and Miis. This means there is no system-wide Mii Maker, and this wasn't remedied in the DSi either. So how on earth are there Mii games? We're gonna get to that. Settle down, viewer, you're so antsy. While this game here wasn't the first on DS to use Miis, it was definitely the biggest one. This is Tomodachi Collection, the predecessor to Tomodachi Life on the 3DS. This launched in 2009 and remained exclusive to Japan. The reason people believe that is Tomodachi Collection has a text-to-speech function, and apparently this only really works with Japanese text. They solved this in Tomodachi Life, but for now, we're stuck with a fan translation, which is still good because it's a really good fan translation. This game gives you your very own island, and you are essentially a god. And just like any god, we get pretty lonely, so we've got to make some people. What you're looking at right here is a Mii Maker on the Nintendo DS, and it is fully functional. Every hairstyle, every face shape, every pair of glasses, every mole, everything from the Wii is here, and so it leaves us with a Nintendo DS with a Mii Maker, which is just kind of fascinating to see. The game encourages you to make a few Miis to populate the island, and not just of you, but your friends or celebrities, just basically anyone. And there wasn't really another game that used Miis this way. Most of the time on the Wii, they were just avatars of you to play in certain games or use as icons, but you're never really encouraged to actually make other Miis. But that's what this game is all about, just making people you know or want to know and putting them in crazy scenarios. It's essentially a game just about catering to their needs, making sure they're not hungry, making sure they've got things to do, and just watching some wacky scenarios like your best friend Mii making a news report. By the way, this Mii is called Viewer. That's you, viewer! And there's also Viewette. You can pet your Miis in this game. After making a couple of Miis using the DS's Mii Maker, you unlock the function to import Miis from other Tomodachi Collection users or from the Wii. Yeah, you can import Miis from the Wii to the DS. It's actually a hidden function. On the Wii Mii Maker, if you press A, B, and then 1, and then hold down 2, this happens. You've been hiding here all along? It is a bit surprising something like Tomodachi Collection wasn't on the Wii, given it's so entangled with Miis, but it kind of makes sense. You know, it's not a game that you play in long bursts. You're mostly going to play this for like 10 minutes or so, put it down, try again later, see what's new. It isn't something you just play all day long, and it fits really well on the DS, and then of course later, the 3DS. And there's no compromises to the Miis themselves. Even if they're lower res and lower poly than usual, they still look like Miis. This John Mii really needed a Nintendo Wii. He is just like me for real. What game is he playing, viewer? Is that Excitebots? But the very first games to use Miis on the DS came 2 years after the debut of Miis on the Wii in 2008. This is Walk With Me, or in America, Personal Trainer Walking. This is a walking game, and it comes with 2 pedometers, one for you and one for someone else, or a dog. They absolutely loved dogs in this era. In Wii Fit Plus, you could weigh your dogs, there was a dog who could play Frisbee in Wii Sports Resort. Hang on, hold the phone. That is not what a Mii dog looks like. That's just a normal dog. What are you trying to pull here? Where's the little circular boy? This isn't him. Oh, viewers, I don't like these dogs. So, if you wanted to, you could attach the pedometer to your dog's collar and, I suppose, make your dog lose weight? Is that why they made you measure them in Wii Fit Plus as well? Was someone at Nintendo just really worried about their dog's health? Anyway, while this game uses Miis, it doesn't actually have a Mii maker. If you want to start from scratch and make your own Mii, you answer whether you're male or female, whether you're an adult or a child, and then it just gives you a bunch of random presets. You can say no to them and get more presets, but you can't just make a Mii. You just have to keep scrolling until something vaguely looks like you. Or you can import one from the Wii. There we go, that's more like it. What should John wear? Sporty gear, a t-shirt, or a suit? I haven't worn a suit in a while. Yeah, let's suit up. I also decided to make a Mii of my son because he is going to go walking with me. Come on, Freddy, take your pedometer. There's an optional clip you can screw onto the pedometer to latch it to your pocket, or you can just hold it like Freddy is right here. Oh, he's asleep. And he's still holding onto it. We walked for around half an hour, and he slept through the bulk of that, so let me just take the pedometer from the sleeping baby, very carefully, and let's see how many steps he got. It's as simple as just taking the pedometer, lining it up with the back of the DS, and pressing a button. And then the infrared goes straight into the DS, and it reads how many steps you've got. And it could tell that Freddy wasn't really walking, but I met my quota for the day. Take that, baby! John 1, baby 0. They add a few fancy flourishes to this game too to make walking a bit more exciting. In one mode, your steps end up revealing a picture, so the more you walk, the more of the picture you see and eventually complete. It's actually really similar to what 3DS did with Street Pass, where it sort of encouraged you to interact and take your 3DS everywhere to get puzzle pieces. This is just kind of that, but like 4 years before that. There's also a mode where you use your steps to power a house. Freddy's not really holding his weight here, come on Freddy! And all in all, while this game is very simple, it serves its purpose as a walking game, and it's cool that the Miis make it a bit more personal, even if there is no actual Mii maker. Now this one is more of a technicality. Final Fantasy The Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time in 2009, and this is the only other game in the West to feature Miis on the DS, and again, it is a technicality. So, if you remember this game, this was a DS game, but also, it was a Wii game, and DS and Wii players could play together both locally and online. So how is that possible? Is it the exact same game on both platforms? Yes, this is quite literally a DS game on the Wii. It's running natively, this isn't emulation, but it does kinda look like a streamer's layout for if they were streaming Final Fantasy The Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time. It is very much a DS game just sort of slapped on the Wii. But there is one difference between the two versions, the Impersonator's Mask. You can get this from the final boss, they drop it every single time, but it's also in the store for you to buy. And wearing this on the Wii basically takes the skin of your Mii's face and just sort of plasters it on your main character. However, in the DS version, that's not quite what happens. Before doing this video, I was researching exactly what happens with this game, and let me call out everybody here on Game FAQs. Yeah, these posts may be 14 years old, but they're all wrong! They say the mask on DS does nothing. Wrong. They say if a Wii user who's worn the mask and has a Mii drops it and the DS person picks it up and wears it, they'll have a Mii. That is also not correct. How dare you 14-year-old posts? This is what the mask does on DS. It gives you a horrendous face. No Mii, but a horrendous face all the same. However, if a Wii user were to drop the mask, regardless of whether they've worn it or whether they're currently wearing it, it will not give the DS user a Mii. They will always have this impersonator weird DS face. But with that said, even though the DS user can't equip a Mii, I can still see the Mii on DS. The Wii user is still wearing the Mii mask and it's visible here on the DS. So technically, this game does feature Miis on the DS, even though you can't equip them. It counts, viewer! And this is Yosuke's Healthy Mahjong DSi for DSiWare, which released in 2009. Do you think we got this in the West? No, we did not. And this is, of course, a Mahjong game, and I don't know how to play Mahjong, so I'll talk about the Miis instead. This game's Mii interface is identical to Walk With Me. It will ask you whether you're male or female, an adult or a kid, and then it will give you a bunch of presets. But of course you can import a Mii from the Wii as well. You don't really see your Miis much outside of starting matches and results screens, but in general gameplay, your Miis aren't exactly floating anywhere, which kind of feels like a missed opportunity when this game integrates Miis, but whatever. But I suppose the main reason they're here is this game has an online mode, so your competitor in Mahjong can have a face, making things very personal. I really have nothing more to say about this one. It's Mahjong. I don't know if any of these moves that I'm doing make any sense. Did I win? Did I win? Did I win? I don't think I won. And while all these games have been around 2008, 2009, this game here released in 2012, a year after the 3DS. This is Kuruma DS. And just like Tomodachi Collection, this game has a full-fledged Mii maker. But they didn't even copy over the UI. This is a completely different interface and layout, and the music's different. It's still got all the features and components of a Mii maker from the Wii, but it's completely different in layout. I'm not entirely sure why. This is a funny little game, as it's one of the few DS games to contain Bluetooth. The Pokemon typing game did this too. There was Bluetooth in the cartridge, and interestingly, this stops you from booting the game on anything apart from official hardware, as the game seeks out the Bluetooth device to even start, so that's kind of an anti-piracy measure if you were to pirate Kuruma DS. So, what is this? This is a GPS game. That's right, the second GPS video on GVG in the last 2 weeks or so. We're becoming a GPS channel. However, I'm afraid our GPS journey will be quite short-lived this time, as this game was only compatible with the Eclipse AVN ZX021 and the AVN Z02i GPSs, and I'm not spending that for a little segment in this video. This was co-published by Toyota and even sold by them, and I imagine many of their car models featured these GPSs in them. And without one of those two GPS systems, this game is just an elaborate Mii maker. Nothing else is really accessible. I mean, we can customize the car we're in, we can change the color of it, but the game itself needs one of those GPS to sync to. So while I can't do that, this video here at least exists. There's a link in the description below for the full thing. So basically your DS would sync with the GPS in the car and become a personal handheld GPS. So while there's no positioning happening within the DS itself, it is still syncing with something that's doing the heavy lifting. So why is that appealing? What's the point in that? Well, they kind of gamify it a bit on the DS. Every now and then when you come across landmarks or parts of Japan, they will give you little quizzes that everyone in the car can answer. And if you've made Miis for everyone in the car, they can participate and say what they think the answer is, and then you can point and laugh at them when they're wrong and you're right. And also, the text-to-speech sounds just like Tomodachi Collection. I don't know how many people have actually played this game. It's definitely an oddity, and you need official hardware, the official cartridge, and these official GPSs to even function. And I'm sorry that I didn't buy one of these GPSs and travel to Japan to actually use them. Maybe next time. What a crazy little escapade this was. The DS was active from around 2004 to 2012-ish, and in that time, only 5 games used Miis, and they were spread out sporadically. It wasn't just like 1 year that allowed the Miis. No, we had Miis up until 2012, which is nuts. Miis very obviously belonged to the Wii. I mean, it's in the name, Wii Mii. But it's kind of crazy that we still have them today in the Switch. The 3DS had them, the Wii U had them. So while their DNA is very tied to that one console being the Wii, Miis have never left. They've had their own mobile game as well with Miitomo. Miis cannot be defeated, and I'm pretty convinced that when the next system comes around, we'll still have Miis. I think we'll still have them lying around even if they're just for icons or something. But Miis have just become such an integral part of Nintendo's DNA as a brand. And I just find it really cool that we can see them in such a low resolution, but still they maintain exactly what it is that makes a Mii. So, were you aware that any DS games use Miis? And if so, what Mii games on the DS did you play? Thanks for watching, everybody, and because you watched until the end, as I've been doing recently, I will let you in on just a little club secret, okay? That's right, it's hot take time. Sonic Colors on the Nintendo DS is a much better game than the Wii version. Maybe we'll talk about this more in the future. It's more well-rounded, the moment-to-moment gameplay is more fun, the wisps are better implemented. I think all in all, it is the better game. And I quite like Sonic Colors on the Wii, but the DS one is essentially a third rush, but even more refined than the previous rushes. What do you think about that? Huh? Thanks for watching until the end, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everyone.